Hey guys, it's Eric here at Farpoint Restorations and Repairs. As you can tell, it is deep winter here in the mountains of North Carolina, and my Volvo is suffering from a failing battery. When it's cold like it is right now, a battery that is on its last legs is going to crank over slow. And in the case of a Volvo, where it has so many loads that are applied the second the key is turned on, it's just a matter of days before I end up with a car that won't start. So let me go ahead around to the back of the car with you. I'll show you where the battery is hidden in this thing. We'll do a quick battery test on it, and then I want to show you the battery I picked up. We decided, because again of the extra gear, I have a CB antenna on this thing, and in the extra cold weather and the fact that it's a Volvo, we decided to upgrade our battery, and we went with an AGM type battery. Now you can also put an H5 in it, but that lowers the amount of cold cranking amps that are available. Definitely didn't want to do that. So we went the other direction and we put an H7. That's what I ordered. And we're going to be stuffing that in here. It does fit in here. But let me take you around to the back of the car. We'll get this thing opened up. I'll show you where the battery is on a Volvo, how to get it out, and then I'll show you the new battery. We'll get it installed, and that'll wrap up this video. Let's do it. So if you didn't know, the battery in a Volvo is in the trunk. It's back here. There's a little shelf usually installed, and some models might even come with a third row seating, although that was getting kind of rare by the time this car came out. The first thing being a 10mm wrench or ratchet, and we're just going to go ahead and loosen that up. You want to remove your ground wire first. That way you don't create any sparks. Next thing you're going to do, if yours is set up correctly, is you have a vent line right here so that any acid that comes out of the battery gets drained to the bottom of the car instead of getting caught in the tray. And then we'll take off the positive terminal. Always do that one last, or you will short it out against the car and damage your tool, burn your car. A whole lot of bad things can happen right then and there. Okay, we got that one out of the way. I'm going to save this to put back on there. It protects from accidental shorts. All right, the next tool you need is a 13, and you got to take the bracing that holds this thing in place. You know, break that loose. All right, and then there's another one right here. You can't really see it, but it's there. You don't have to take that off. You just loosen it so that you can remove that brace. Lastly, you're going to need an extension and a 12mm to go down here for the actual battery hold down. All right, so right down here with your 12, you're going to take that, and that unfortunately does have to come all the way out. If you're like me, I have trailer wiring down here as well, and the spare tire is there, so it can be a bit of a snug fit, but we'll undo that, slide that back, and we're ready to remove this thing. Batteries are nasty heavy, and they also contain acid, so you don't want to get that on your clothes if possible. And there it is. So this one's going away, and let's head inside and I'll show you what we are replacing it with. All right, so this is the replacement battery that we're going to be putting into it. The difference being, they're roughly the same size. The other one that I took out was also an H7. This is 850 cold cranking amps, 80 amp hour battery, but it's an H7. It is a AGM, absorbed glass mat, versus lead acid. They're better for conditions like the one I'm in right now, where it's freezing temperatures, high demands, and they have some other advantages as well. Some people use them for racing. Weight-wise, they're the same. This is not a lithium battery, but it is an upgrade from a regular lead acid battery. This one is from Weize, I think it is, W-E-I-Z-E, Weize. Now I got it online. It actually had a much better deal than anything I could find at my local Walmart, which is kind of a surprise sometimes, but that's the way it is. I'll leave a link to where you can get one of these things. They have pretty much every popular size. In fact, we were thinking about getting one for our Tundra as well. QTF-80 is the part number, and it does have a 3-year warranty on it, which is really nice as well. So that's it. It did come with like some specs. I don't know. I guess here, 12 volts, 80 amp hours. Weighs 51 pounds roughly. And it self-discharges, it says 8% after 90 days, so it can sit a good long time, which is nice. It's in the summertime, we don't drive that winter Volvo very often. And there we go. So I'm going to go ahead and remove the caps. One thing I do love about that, they actually gave you a little lift handle, if you see there, because sometimes those can be a little bit of a pain to get out. This is nice. So this little rubber stopper here, if you look on both sides of this, there's holes for that vent. Well, this rubber stopper, since we only have a vent on this side, we plug the hole like so. And that's all there is to it, man. We're ready to reinstall this thing. So let's take this thing, we'll drag it outside, we'll put it in there, and back in business in no time. I'll tell you, I also like that this has a nice big grab handle to go with it to help get it in and out of there like that without hurting yourself, you know. The older I get, the heavier things seem to be becoming. It's just going to hand start that lower connection. And then we'll tighten that up. Okay. And then we're going to connect our positive. Well, first I'm going to try to fish this back in there. Let me pull up on it a little bit. There we go. And then we're going to push this down onto it. And of course, if necessary, you would go ahead and clean these terminals. These battery cables, one of the benefits of having the battery in the trunk, probably the only benefit, is they tend to not get corroded as bad as your other style of battery, you know, like if you're sitting there in the engine compartment. Okay, before I hook up my ground, we're going to grab this piece here and reattach it. This is our battery hold down. Put that in there. Again, that's a 13. And that's to keep this battery from blasting through the cabin of the car in the event of an emergency stop or you know, an accident. And then lastly, we're just going to push that back down on there, tighten that up as well. Okay, so some of these have a plastic cover that goes down over this, but these newer models here didn't come with that, or this one didn't come with that. But that's it. That's how easy it is. Let me just wrap this up. Well, so there it is. Not a terribly long video, not a terribly complex job, but I did want to show upgrading a regular lead acid battery to an AGM. Like I said, we use this company called Weize, and I'll leave a link to that site. But they're a good alternative if you're living in harsh climates, nice winter climates like this one here. Till next time, my friends, take care.